would solve a predicament for us,
Because
it also solves the predicament of
the Quran. It says it was made to appear so, correct?
yeah, exactly. And now you have to ask the question, where, like, Muhammad, what was he? Because this sounds like a Gnostic. This Quranic verse sounds like a Gnostic Christian.
Well, the problem that bothered me the most about this part in the Quran is because the question arises: is why would Allah deceive?
No, yeah, there is no deception.
Well, it's in that line. It says Allah made it appear so. So the question always for me was
because who's standing there?
Right.
Are they believers?
Well, you have the Romans. You have the people looking on.
The rabbis.
Yeah,
that wanted him dead.
Right.
And he wanted, just like with Moses, when what's his name, the Samari made for them a calf, God gave it a sound.
So
it's not a deception. It's actually giving them what they want. They wanted misguidance, so God gave them more misguidance.
Okay, very good point. Very good point. Okay, so you have now the exchange of Simon for Jesus' soul, and with Jesus after this, his soul goes where?
Jesus went into the body of Simon of Cyrene, and then it kept moving on until it went on a person that was sitting on the tree, and he was laughing at them.
Hold on, so this is the plot for the movie Fallen.
Where do you think they got it from?
or you got it from the movie.
No, where'd you think? No, I got it from a gospel that was discovered not too long ago. Like, hey, the gospels are like,
I gotta find out when that movie came out, bro.
Yeah, go find out, because this gospel is historic. It's a historic architect.
Okay, so you're saying that the soul of Jesus bounced around.
And do you know what I think? I think there are families around behind the closed doors that actually have a lot of secret knowledge that they have not shared yet, that just survived under the ground.
Yeah. Well, we have the Knights Templar and all that.
Yeah, look at that. Where is that?
Okay, so
where are they now?
So you're saying that basically what happened was Jesus bounced around and he continued to live.
Oh yeah, continued to live, and he lived all the way until he was 70 years old. And when he died was the same year that the temple got destroyed as a punishment.
Okay, 70 AD.
Yes, that's when he died.
Okay, so let's move on now. So Muhammad, last prophet?
Last prophet sent by God directly, yes, but not the last prophet.
Not the last prophet.
Because Jesus is going to return, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Jesus
Jesus is already known. I'm saying as far as we know, like the last
There
prophet.
is no new prophets in that sense.
There's no new prophet.
No new prophets.
And how did...
But the history of the family of the prophet, the holy family of the prophet, says that not only Jesus is going to return. In fact, it says that all the saints and all the believers and all the prophets and all the messengers who have came before will return. So
yeah, you have a good energy about you. You know that, right?
Yeah,
you have a very good energy about you. This is probably because you've studied. And so you have. This gentleman behind you in the picture. Who told him that he was the second imam?
The imam before him. So it's like, imagine a successorship. It's like the first king gives the second king his kingdom. It didn't come up from himself, Andy.
Okay.
He didn't think. He didn't go to sleep and woke up in the morning. He's like, "Hey guys, I saw a vision. I have to, No.
Okay.
I'm not talking to intelligent people because they know the stuff,
Okay, so he's the second one, and what is his mission?
His mission is actually in a booklet, a small booklet, about 20 pages maximum. But this booklet is called the Mahdi's Manifesto. His mission is to build a model.
A model?
Right now, yes, a model of a divine justice state. The kingdom of God. That's what it is in Christianity. They call it the kingdom of God.
When Jesus says the spirit of truth,
yes,
you're going to tell me that he's the spirit of truth.
Well, I mean, he's definitely a spirit of truth. His name is Abba al-Sadiq, the father of truth.
But when Jesus said the Spirit of Truth will come and
He will
introduce
tell
you
you
to
all things. And
Yes.
Abu Sadiq is revealing quite some heavy stuff, brother.
Right,
And
right.
he's gonna
And who
reveal
is-
even
who
more
is-
soon.
and
Do you know what
who
he's
is-
doing with us? He's actually taking us right now, because the latest chapter of the last book he's revealed this book, Divine Jurisprudence, and this book, chapter 1, is out right now. So, as Ahmadi Religion of Peace and Light followers, we're actually going on a spiritual journey right now together with him, and that spiritual journey is like we're actually applying, and we're going to live up all the covenants of all the prophets and the messengers before. So we're starting with Adam. Right now we're under the covenant of Adam. And once the Imam sees that all of the believers, you can say the training is done and everybody's on that level, then he will reproduce the chapter 2, which is the second covenant of Noah.
What is his plan for the Jews, the Christians, and the Muslims?
Yes. So the plan is that once he builds the model of the state, the divine just state or kingdom of God, people will see it, and it will be sectioned as such. There is a video titled "The the refugee land." Right? He gave this a solution to all the refugee problems around the world. Like literally the most practical solution I've ever heard, and it's a genius, and it requires a Nobel Prize, yes, for peace and love. So what happened is that he literally solved that problem in such an ingenious way. My mind blown, wallahi, every time I think about it. So you build a city. People build cities for $8 billion right now. You can build cities very easily. So right now you build, and these guys buying Twitter for 40 billion. Yeah, so it's possible. It's doable. Very doable. Wallah, very doable. So the idea is that, and they're spending so much money on these illegal refugee problem that is going around the world. So we'll solve all that problem for you guys. You have nothing to do with it. We'll do it. You just give us the funds and we will do it for you. And we'll fix this problem. So now, you build a city and you section the city into different sections. Each section would have a different religious denomination in it. Say, for example, this section is Christianity, and the rule that goes above them, the rule that rules over them, the rule of law, is the rule of law of Christianity. So it's like the biblical New Testament kind of thing. Jesus' laws. Keep my commandments if you love me, right?
No, but hold on a second. When the Christians are cooking the pork and the Muslims are next door, they can smell it. So maybe we put the Muslims near the Buddhists.
No problem. Let him do. He'll have the perfect design. Don't worry.
Okay.
It'll have the city will be the perfect design.
But then
because they're not told the smell of it is haram. They're told the eating of it is haram.
Yeah, but the Muslims don't like the smell of the pork. So if you put the Muslims near the Hindus, and the Muslims are taking the cows, then Hindus are not gonna like the
maybe
smell.
that's true. So but the idea for them, at least, is this: the concept is very simple: is that the Christians will be ruled by their book, the Jews will be ruled by their book, the Muslims will be ruled by their book. And that allows every one of them to actually live up to their faith.
That's a very good point.
Right? Because right now they're not. They're living under secular rules.
Well, now what you have is most wars are committed because of the distinction between these faiths. So if you could somehow create a community that respects each law, each system of beliefs, then you could create a standard that actually works.
Exactly. And it would work for each and every single one individually differently, because right now what we have is a single set of rules and laws that is applied on everybody. It's like going to school and they teach you in one way, and you're like you have in the classroom a monkey, a donkey, a fish, bird.
That's why there's so much clashing going on in the West.
That's why there's failure. Disasters.
But I think the smell problem would still be a problem.
No problem. We'll solve it. Don't worry.
People don't like the burgers and the steaks.
Don't worry.
I think that's the least of their problem right now.
The bacon, and the Buddhists don't like either.
Yeah. So it's not about likes and dislikes. It's about what are you able to actually live up to your feeling, to your belief. You know,
Yeah,
can
yeah.
you live up to that faith? That
Yeah, okay,
I
good.
say I testify God is God is Allah and Muhammad is the messenger, and I believe in Bukhari Muslim. Okay, but are you living up to that? Like, because you have when you live up to that is different, brother. There's the laws that they have in their books are sometimes very harsh, and not just harsh. Look at the Jews, man. 600 and something laws that they have to keep in their heads.
I think 747.
Oh my God! Look at that, even more. So,
Yes.
geez, that's a lot. That's
Yeah,
some
but,
that's some complicated covenant,
Yeah,
brother.
but they know how to work the whole system, so that's
Yeah,
why.
you know, they're good at that stuff. So,
Anyway,
so yeah, that's the idea. The idea is that he builds that model, and once the model is done and people can see, because people are the enemies. Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam said a wisdom that is everlasting. He said that people are the enemies of that which they don't know.
of course.
So
Yeah.
if I say state, you immediately like fears, and somebody's sitting under the the table right now
Can I tell
thinking
you
is
something? Can I tell you a story?
Yeah.
So me, I'm Bosnian. Okay, my people were persecuted for being Muslim. Okay, so when I was little, I was afraid of the cross. I was terrified of the cross.
Look at that.
If I saw the cross, I would say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Okay,
Yeah.
so I was afraid. So recently, I started studying the Gospels. I studied Christianity. I started going to church. Okay, because I wanted to understand. I was tired of being afraid. You understand? So what I realized was that for many people, Christianity is working. And for Muslims, Islam is working. For the Jews, Judaism is working. But they have conflicting ideas. So you cannot force people to convert to your way of believing.
That's how you
But
die.
there has to be something that can create peace. And I think this idea seems very rational.
It's just that's what I'm saying. It's like it deserves a world, like literally, like it's a Nobel Prize for peace. This is the minimum. This is minimum for me in my head when I actually think of Nobel Prize for peace. An idea like this is so ingenious that if it's not applied, then the only person we can actually blame is ourselves as human beings.
Yeah, but I think the religions are so ingrained in people that if you start speaking about some of these things the way that you're talking, it will create persecution.
I know. That's why we are persecuted.
Yeah.
And we are worldwide known to be a minority religion that is persecuted in the world, and in the Middle East especially. The Middle East has actually been very horrible to us because we have lots of very difficult faith statements that we have. So it's like we just say that it's simple. It's 99% of all religions is corrupt.
Where are you from
originally? So obviously we're not liked by them, man.
Where are you from originally?
Originally, I was born in Iraq.
Iraq, you speak very good English.
God bless you, thank you. I liked English since I was young.
Your English is impeccable. Okay, so this gentleman behind you, how old is he?
Right now, he's 42.
He's 42. And does everybody get the beanie? If you sign
don't
up?
have to, no. We have lots of people, by the way, you can get it if you want.
Yeah, I want to get the beanie.
Yeah,
No.
why not? You can definitely get it. It's not a duty. It's like a kind of, we love him so much, and he has taught us so much. Like, honestly, I don't even know where I would be without his knowledge. He's taught so much. He's just gave us so much of himself.
You have a very good energy about you. You know that?
God bless you, Allah.
I have thrown some jokes at you, and you have taken them in good faith, and you haven't gotten upset, which says a lot about your belief system. You know, and
it's all him. It's all him.
Okay,
he's the one who's the teacher.
Yeah, I think I've asked you, let's see, most of the questions I wanted to ask. So what is the end times like according to him? Does he subscribe to the Christian version, to the Islamic version? Is he the Jewish Messiah? Does he claim to be that Messiah that the Jews are waiting for?
See, that's the idea. It's the beauty about this call is that it's we do not deny any of the books, any of the holy books. We do not deny them completely, utterly. Like the Muslims, for example, do. They deny all of the Bible, and the Christians
Yeah.
deny all of the Quran, and the Jews deny both of them. Like we don't deny. We actually accept all of it, and that's when Abu Sadiq said something very interesting. He said that it's kind of like seasons, like a series. And season 1 is the Judaism. Season 2 is like Christianity. Season 3 is Islam. Season 4 is us. Assalamu
I
alaikum.
don't know, man. I think the season's got a little low budget.
Yeah, that's kind of, like actually it was very high budget if you think about it. So
No,
what happened?
the main character in the third season was very high budget, but I think the extra roles became very low budget.
Oh man, these guys they took over. So then what happened? So then what happens then now is like we have a new season, and the season is the Mahdi or the guide, because the word Mahdi means guide. And also like we have so what happens is that all of these religions are calling towards a messenger of some kind, a
Yeah,
Mahdi,
the Jews are
a
waiting on the
savior.
Messiah.
Even the Buddhists, the Maitreya, even
Yeah,
the Krishna, even the Hindus, by the way, they have the same concept of avatar of God.
Yes.
So they have, all of them are united in that structure, but they differ on the details. So why they differ on the details is because they follow different sectarian divides. So what happens is that the Mahdi alayhi salatu wasalam is the representation of all that figure that comes to build the kingdom of God, to actually expand the kingdom of God, to show it so that the people can see it. His job is to come and establish the state. That's his mission, to make sure that the people see it with their eyes.
The Jewish Messiah, is that him?
He is all of them in the way, but he's also like, yes, he is. You can say he is, because he said like, I'm a messenger of Elijah to the Jews, which means what?
So has he approached the Jews? What's their response?
There is quite actually there has been some contact like between us and some of the people who are like actually believe in Judaism, and they find us interesting. They find us very interesting. They're like, what's going on here? Okay, makes sense, because actually he's teaching them also about the Torah in ways that they've never seen it. There's a series about the Antichrist, for example, in Judaism, because in general, Jewish people, they don't think that they have a concept of Antichrist. Like they're not taught that,
because they don't have the Christ. So how they?
But then again, you will find that that's there in their books. In the book of Daniel 12, for example, it is mentioned there in the dream that there is a person who is the son of perdition.
You're talking about Daniel 7?
Daniel 12, if I'm not mistaken.
You're talking about the Son of Man?
No.
No.
Daniel 12. I know it's Daniel 12. It has end times, and there's a vision of Daniel. I think one of the vision that he sees in it, the son of perdition. Outcome will be, may the Lord will be contact. Because the word understand and purified, many purified.
So where does he live now?
The living places I cannot really disclose right at this present moment. I don't know if I have the ability to, but it's the headquarter of the dawah of the whole like kind of call is the UK.
I see.
Yeah.
And so you guys have approached the Jews? Have you approached any of the? I'm guessing he has been shunned by the Islamics.
Oh, absolutely. Like if you look into Iran, for example, Iran has like made even public statements against our dawah, and our people have been put in prison for nothing, just for being Ahmadi religion of peace and light followers. And they've been in prison. Evin prison, if you've heard about Evin prison, it's like one of the most horrible prisons in the world today. And they've tortured them and did all kinds of stuff to them.
They issued fatwas?
They issued fatwas. Some of the scholars issued fatwas for our blood. And also you have some scholars of Sunnis in Iraq also issued fatwas against us, and they shot at our people.
Wow.
We have multiple brothers and sisters who are still in prisons right now. And just for believing, they have done nothing more, or like they get imprisoned just for having like posters or something like that, handing it out to the people or talking. Then
so they don't have a problem
as well, Algeria as well. We have people who have been oppressed there. We have
they don't
people
have
in
a problem.
Syria.
They don't have a problem with the Christians or the Jews, but they have a problem with you.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well,
Is it because-
our belief systems are very strong, and they're
Yes,
really
yes.
like almost. We show them. Can you imagine if we just like come and we say the scholars are the most evil under the heavenly skies?
Well, Jesus did. So you have. When did he announce himself?
So just to clarify that Abu Sadiq is not the Messiah himself that comes for the Jews, yes? Like he's not the Jewish Messiah, but he is that representative of the messenger, as I said, the messenger of Elijah to the Jews. That's what he said.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when did he start revealing that he was a Mahdi? When did he start, as far as time frame? Was it only like a couple of decades ago? When did he start to preach as a Mahdi?
When he started in 2015, that's when he started.
Okay, 2015. And when did you become part of his?
2015.
Oh, wow!
It came after. It's like as soon as he raised the banner, and I'm looking into the scenario. I was at that point still researching. I'm like right there, sitting down, looking around, checking for what's going on. And when I heard his call, I was like, okay, that's different than everything else I've heard. Like what's going on here? And when I saw him raising the banner that is written and the evidence that he's put on the table, after I left, I did some research. Like I even read the books before I even at that time, and I
gotta read his book. I gotta read his book.
It's really amazing.
How did your family react?
Oh, they didn't like it, obviously. That's the obvious thing. It's like, what can you do,
Yeah. I mean, you've probably been called kafir and everything else, right?
At some point, like they were. My family were not, you could say, that religious themselves. They did the practices and everything.
Yeah.
And they got scared at the beginning. They're like, what the heck? What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Why are you saying the Mahdi's here? You're crazy. So, yeah, they accused me of being crazy. But then I kind of like started to show them the books, When you open the books and you show it to them, they cannot say anything, So what happens is that at some point my father just kind of calmed down and he said, look, son, I didn't know you know so much about religion. I'm like, it's not me. I'm just following him and he's teaching me. And you're saying now his knowledge is good, So... okay, why don't you? And he says, look, if I have any questions, I'll ask you. He used to be actually a follower of Sistani, and he dropped the Sistani following. He says, I'm not going to follow these guys anymore. So after some time,
who's Sistani?
he's one of the biggest Shia clerics in Iraq. He's considered, I think he's followed by a couple of, at least 20 million people, at least 20 million Shia. He's really big. Really, really gigantic. And he's the guy who, I don't know if you follow the Pope, but Pope Francis, when he was alive, he went to Iraq to visit.
Yeah.
He visited one of the clerics over there. Mm-hmm. That's the one he visited.
So he was following him for a while, and then he realized that it did not appeal to him anymore.
It doesn't make sense. Look, Sistani actually, in his books, says some of the most insane things. Like... wow, I don't know where to start. I don't even know if I can legally speak this stuff that he says.
I think he said, is he the one that said that if the Imam wants to create something in the world, he can do it? Is he the one who said that?
That's like everybody, every Shia thinks that the Imam has the authority to do anything. He can actually flip this earth upside down, but he doesn't do anything except the will of God.
Do you believe this?
The will of God is with a person,
right?
So, and what happens is that the ability is there for God. He can flip the earth, right?
Of course.
And he can also give that to somebody.
Of course.
So it's just a matter of are they wise or are they unwise? Would God give this ability to somebody who is unwise?
Of course.
Of course not, So he will give it to somebody who will follow the will.
Yeah, your rational makes sense. What I'm asking is, do you believe that an individual by his own will has that power?
There is no one with their own will. There is no will except for the will of God.
Okay, very good. No, brother, thank you. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, I'm very happy that you have come here, and it was an amazing conversation.
This is cool, man. This is really
cool. I know.
I'm gonna
let's do it again, yeah?
Okay, for sure. I'm going to do a little bit of research myself, but I appreciate you answering my questions. And thank you for keeping a positive energy, regardless of what people may say to you on here. You know, people can be very mean. So thanks, man. Thanks for answering my questions.
Thank you so much, brother. God bless you. God bless you. Assalamu alaikum. That was an amazing conversation. I hope everybody has that energy.
I mean, I actually agree. I've never seen you discussing this whole matter or Imam matter with